Aston Villa 1, Liverpool 4. Liverpool progress in the FA Cup as Aston Villa crash out with the under-23s putting in a very good performance. And it's a very different one with this game. Obviously, as we were coming into it, we knew that a lot of the Aston Villa team was not going to be able to play in this FA Cup game. And it broke, I think, the day prior to the match going ahead, that Aston Villa would still go ahead in the match, but we'd also be seeing a much younger team, more than the likes of made up from the under 23s. So we came into this thinking, oh, we're going to get smashed. But overall, it's just going to be one of those games we're just going to have to accept and just move on with. And I think overall, after watching that, I'm going to be more proud of what I've seen tonight. There is a very bright future. And overall, if I was Klopp, I would be embarrassed. Simply because the fact that, the average age of our team was about 18 years, and the fact that we've dominated the game, well, not dominated the game, but we were in the game for about 60 minutes just shows how poor Liverpool were. It's the fact that you've had to practically bring on your first 11 just to make sure you get through that game, because the team that you had on already just wasn't good enough. And I'd be absolutely embarrassed if I was Klopp. You go on and critique about the game fixtures coming around too quickly, your player substitutes not even enough. I'm sorry, you had played a really good team against a bunch of 18-year-olds, 18 to 20-year-olds, and you still couldn't beat us. Well, you did beat us in the end, but you had to bring on Champions League winners like Thiago, Firmino, you had to bring on Shaqiri and all them. Like, you had to bring on all these players, and yet you beating a bunch of 18-year-olds, but overall Villa were, let's be honest, the team that I'll be looking at on this as the better positive. You can say Liverpool because they won, but who cares? You've proven nothing, and that your team is just not good enough, and how youngsters dominated you for that 60 minutes. So yeah, I'd be absolutely embarrassed if I was a Liverpool fan, and if I was a Klopp fan, because you couldn't score 5, you couldn't score 7. So shut up there, have some humility, and get back in your place. But let's look at Villa. I'm not really going to go into negatives, because there's nothing really negative to mark about it. It's the situation we're in. We knew this was going to happen, but we've got to talk about the positives. I think every player on that pitch looked absolutely brilliant tonight. Managed to hold up against some Champions League winners, and really simply put, giving them a really good run for their money for that 60 minutes. But obviously, we're just going to look into some of the players that I thought had a really good game. Obviously, the goalkeeper, Onidi from the Norwegian goalkeeper that we only signed recently, he looked really good. So some really good saves. On the one in the first half, we managed to get the one save from his arm onto the post, and obviously Salah whipped it in, and he managed to save that. He made some really good saves tonight. I think really it wasn't at fault for any of the goals. It's just it just wasn't at fault tonight, but I thought he had a really good game. I thought Jay Walker had a really good game as well, looked really strong and imposing on that right side. Really nice to see him then. I thought Dominic Revan, I said it initially at one point, I think he's really someone's going to break through that first team. And you know what, if Engels is going to be sold, I wouldn't mind seeing perhaps Revan give him another 1 or 2 years of development. Maybe we'll see him come into the first team. But he looks really immense, really strong tonight, commanding. Mino Bridge, obviously a really good player as well. Nice to see him get going. And overall looks really solid as well alongside Revan. Emro looks really decent as well. As I said, everyone just looked really decent. But he was getting stuck in. He was running up those channels. He was really giving them a go. And it looked really nice to see. Kesler Hayden had a really good game. Rakil, didn't really see much of him. I thought he was alright. He still had to make a really bloody great tackle at one point against, I think it was Salah Mane. Really good from him. Bagard, obviously really good player there. Played some really nice balls in. And just a really nice play to see him get through. Chrisen, obviously. A really, really nice play from him. Nice to see him get some movement. Obviously, some of the substitutes that came on did really well as well. I'd like to see it. We'll go to substitutes anyway. See Swinkhorst did really well. Hayden Linton, Brad Young, really nice flick on Shaqiri there. He absolutely mug. Edward Rowe looked really good. And I think obviously, although we could have probably said Onodi, Dominic Revan as probably the man of the match, I think just because of the goal, I think we're going to have to give man of the match to Louis Barry. Simply put, monumentous moment for him to score that goal against Liverpool. A really good ball in, I believe it was from Walker, and a really brilliant finish. And I was saying this on the live stream, um, admittedly, he's still young. He's probably not going to last 90 minutes. But for me, send Davis out. I don't see why Louis Barry isn't in the first team. Quality for me tonight, he showed absolute brilliant quality, winning down, chasing down every ball. Obviously, the goal was taken really well, and overall, for someone so small and so young as Louis Barry, to see that level of confidence playing against Champions League winners and Premier League winners is just insane. As I said, I don't understand why he isn't in that first 11. And after watching him tonight, not only have we got a real talent in our hands, we need to keep him. We need to see him break through into that first team. And as I said, if we can get him and Davis going, then would be a really nice sight to see. And it was just a really lovely performance from him. I think a lot of eyes were being brought onto him to watch when this game started, and I think he's really delivered tonight. And overall, it was just a really solid performance from him. You can tell they got tired after 60 minutes. It's obviously happened. But as I said, overall, we're not going to be negative because this was a very good performance from Aston Villa. It's, as I said, Liverpool take some humility. You were, for me, not outplayed just because they had to bring on their Champions League winners, but it says a lot when you have to do that and you still couldn't get through us. You couldn't beat us 5 goals, you couldn't get you 7 goals, so just in the bin. But overall, a wonderful performance from Aston Villa, nothing to be ashamed about. You could say that, okay, admittedly we ran to throw away the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, but it's, as I said, I'd love to finish with a strong place in the league this season. And overall, it's, as I said, I just don't think we're ready to win FA Cups because I just don't think we have the team for it. But let's hope we get that strong league finish. It now just goes on to what's going to be happening next with the team, because obviously they'll still be in their isolating for 14 days. They'll still be having to shield from everyone else, and we obviously still have Tottenham, Everton, and Man City. Now, it's going to be worrying. In this case, you know what I mean? It's fine to throw this away. It's just one of those things. For me, I would have the Tottenham and Everton game cancelled. It's just not fair. I don't want to see these bunch of players go out and play there, because I think for me the league means a little bit more than the FA Cup right now. And I just think it's really selfish and really pity if Tottenham and Jose Mourinho do go through it. But there is rumours that he does want to go through it, obviously. So we will have to go through there. We will post an update and see what happens there. But overall, looking at this performance, a really great showing from the under-23s tonight. And yeah, couldn't be more happier. That's my reaction to Aston Villa 1, Liverpool 4. What did you think? Tell us in the comments down below. Without further ado, I've been Ben, up the Villa with the pride of Villa. We'll see you later, boys.